Hi everyone, and welcome to your mid-month pick a card tarot readings for the month of December 2022. If you're new here, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If that's something you're into, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you're always up to date on the advice that the cards have for you. I'll be doing 7 card readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Borderless Rider-Waite-Smith with White Crystal, the Universal Rider-Waite-Smith with Dongling Jade, and the Classic Rider-Waite-Smith with Tiger's Eye. We also have 4 different Oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks, so go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which Oracle card resonate with you the most. It's fine if you're drawn to more than one, you might have a combination message, and you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, the timestamps are right below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, Group 1, let's see what we have for you to close out the rest of the month and the year, really, but this is a mid-month update. So, in your present energy, I got the feeling just from these 2 cards, but then this 3rd card kind of, for lack of a better phrase, confirmed my hunch. Kind of like holding on to conflict, something that may or may not have gone your way and is causing you to close in on yourself. Is that for your best or is it not? Let's see. Well, speaking of things that confirm my initial hunch, I often give this spiel about the Ten of Swords, which is, it feels like the end of the world, but it really isn't. And it's a dramatic conclusion to something. But the sunrise in the background here symbolizes that it sets you up for the next thing. Let's see what the incoming energy is. We have the Knight of Wands reversed. So let's give the insights, the advice cards here. Well, this is pretty straightforward. Let me... I do feel the need to stare at this in silence for a little bit, but I have a pretty good idea. This probably shouldn't be long. For you, it won't be long at all. All right, so the answer to the question that I asked very early into this reading of, this conflict that you're holding on to, or whatever you're holding on to as a result or following this conflict, is it for your better evolution or not? The answer is it can be. And I think that this is reflected in the 2 advice cards that we have here. So just to summarize the vibe that I'm getting from this reading, whatever conflict or, for lack of a better phrase, drama that is pushing you into this present energy that precedes this present energy, I think that there's, how can I say this? It can be the seed to start a next really positive phase in your life, for lack of a better phrase. The reason I'm hesitant to say life is because this is a mid-month reading, so I'm thinking close out the year, but setting you up for the next year. So it's kind of a big deal and it kind of isn't. But the thing to keep in mind is that the events of the past has brought you to this moment, and you're at the threshold where you can choose what the next step is for you. But it's really important to make sure that you process the past clearly and not let your emotions get the better of you. Those are the things that are resounding clearly with these 2 advice cards here. So a question that I would invite you to reflect on, Group 1, is, how is this the best thing that's ever happened to me? It's a question that can be really powerful to at least see what compost, what turds that you can turn into compost that you can use to grow, the next generation of food, so yeah, I think that would be the something for you to ponder on. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Sometimes when dramatic things happen, it's good to take a moment to reflect. Just make sure that you're trying to get to the truth of the matter, trying to get the new ideas that you can come from where you're at now, as opposed to taking that time to mope, for lack of a better term, or to stowing when you're when you're sitting wallowing, I think wallowing is the phrase that I'm looking for, and I'm tired of searching for other phrases, so we'll go with wallow. Use it to find clarity instead of to wallow, and don't let your emotions get the better of you. You are in a good position to begin the next phase of this adventure. It just might not happen right away. So I have an announcement that I'm going to make at the beginning of the Oracle card section, but as far as this reading is concerned, we are done. So thank you very much, and I'll see you at the Oracle card portion. All right, group 2, let's see what we have for you to wrap up the month and the year. So in your present energy, we have the 5 of Cups reversed, the 7 of Wands, and the 10 of Coins reversed. Things are better than they might appear. Is the what I'm getting from this. Let's move to the past energy here. There are two ways to interpret this 10 of Wands here. It could either be, something that you've been carrying for a while, or it could be a reminder that you're almost at the proverbial village that's in the background here, this one here. But it's difficult to tell with these cards, so let's go with the incoming energy. Holy shit. Sorry, what's making me say this is there are a lot of commonalities between you and group 1. If this card is an ace, I'm going to lose it. Okay, at least it's not. Let's see here. I've basically been commenting about the cards and not reading them that so much, so give me a second here to see what's going on. Group 2, if I was to summarize your reading in a phrase, I think that the biggest obstacle for you is that it's almost as if you're trying to move a mountain on your own. And I think that my doubt isn't so much in your ability to accomplish whatever monumental thing that you're trying to do on your own. The monumental thing you're trying to do is one of the aspects of the Empress, by the way. But I think that by trying to do it all on your own, it's leading to a lot of disappointment, a lot of doubt in your ability, a lot of wondering what the point of it all even is, and shit like that. And I think that I am reminded of a line. So I was looking at this guy right here. In the middle of your whole reading here, upright, valiantly, like defending himself, hastily. The hastily part comes by the fact that he's wearing one shoe and one boot, so he kind of had to scrap together his defense. But while looking at him, I was reminded of a line in an anime that I watched many years ago. And it was the head, the general of the guard of a court or whatever. His role isn't important, but he was looking at a soldier and he said, "There's nothing brave about rashly choosing to die." And the context of that line is when the soldier wanted to stand and fight and not abandon the castle that had fallen. Now, forget that part, group 2. I was basically explaining the content of that line, but applying it back to you, it's more like you don't get bonus points for having done it on your own. I think and I'm totally subject to this. Okay, so it might seem like I'm pointing a finger at you, but there are these 3 fingers here pointing back at me. I also do this quite frequently, but you don't get bonus points for doing it on your own. And I think that at times, like it's looking like is going on for you, every now and then it's good to take your foot off the gas and just recharge. to recharge and not put so much pressure on yourself to for you to move this mountain on your own. And I think that that is the best thing that can help you find the clarity, tap into your strength once again, and you know, move forward from there. But I think that the key thing for you is to try to try to find someone that you can unburden, that you can pass some of these wands off to, because it looks like you've been carrying this for a while, and I think that you're capable in the abstract, but I think that for you, for these next couple weeks, the important thing would be to focus on you and recharging your energy and really you know, find that energy and clarity. Those are the main things, because it's looking like you're trying to create something great, and also pointing at the Empress. One of the other aspect that I'm getting from the Empress is an invitation to, you know, pamper yourself and just relax. I think that a lot of a lot of the unease that I'm getting in your reading, group 2, is caused by putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and somehow blaming yourself for not having moved this mountain by yourself by now. Why isn't this mountain on the other side of the continent yet? You know, so yeah, try to keep that in mind. Do I have anything else for you? Yeah, I wanted to pull one more advice card for you, and it is the Two of Wands. Again, it's I fucking love that this card came out. Remember, this guy's holding the world in his hands, okay? And never never lose sight that you're coming from a place of plenty. And sometimes when we're holding the world in our hands, I'm making a connection with these two cards here, both wands also. Actually, there's a lot of fire in your reading. Anyway, when we hold the world in our hands, sometimes it can feel really heavy. And it's okay to ponder where you go from here, but try to recharge the tank so that you can look at the territory in a clearer manner. So yeah, that's what I have for you. I have an announcement that I'm going to open the Oracle card portion with, so make sure that you, you know, watch the announcement. It'll be at the very beginning. And thank you very much for trusting me with this reading. I will see you at the Oracle card portion, group 2. You take care. All right, group 3, let's see what we have to close out the year. It's looking like it's looking like all work and no play, but this is there are too many different ways I can read these cards. Let's look at your past energy. You know what I'm gonna do, group 3? I did this for all the others, really. So I'm going to lay down the entire reading, stare at it a bunch. Don't panic, and I'll see what I have for you, group 3. Give me a second here. Excellent. Group 3, right out of the gate, I just want to say I completely misread these 3 cards when I flipped them down initially. I think to summarize the reading as a whole, actually, scratch that. I'm going to focus on the Lover's card and then spread it out to the rest of this reading. Literally the first card I turned over. So one of the ways to interpret the Lover's card reversed is codependent vibes. And I think that that is the overall calling out of this reading. Now, when I say codependency, it's not necessarily with another person. It could be with a situation. It could be an organization. It could be a way that you're looking at things or whatever. But one thing is clear: the Ten of Swords here is inviting you to let that shit go and to really make a break and put your foot down and draw your boundary so that you can get the healing that you've been needing for a while. I think that whatever I'm gonna try not to use the word codependent too much, but I can't think of any other word, and because the reason I don't want to use that word too much is that it makes it seem like I'm talking about a relationship with another person. For some of you, it might be, but it's not necessarily that. But whatever. Like I feel like this whole reading is a giant devil card. Something that I say a lot. Actually, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna find the devil in this deck right now and see where he is, what he's surrounded by, because I wanted to show him to you, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was reversed. Where is the devil? Ha! You see, at the very top of this deck. So. Actually, we'll get back to this. But something that I say a lot is the chains around these people's necks are loose fitting. They can take these chains off and walk away at any point. And it's looking like whatever whatever led to this situation was useful and very positive, but has served its time. And I think that coming back to this 10 of, the 6 of Wands isn't in frame. Let me do it like that. Yeah, that should do. So coming back to the 10 of Swords here, another thing that I say a lot is the 10 of Swords feels like the end of the world, but it's really not. And I think it's time, I think that every now and then you need to recognize when things that have been useful to you in the past are not useful at the moment. And it's time to just, take some me time to reflect on what the next step is. And yeah, I think that, whatever has served you in the past, whatever you put on pause in order to get this victory is kind of spiraling into feelings of, just putting in a lot of work, feelings of defensiveness and shit like that. So that is why the 10 of Swords, as dramatic as it looks, as scary as it looks, is in the position that it's in. And that can enable you to do the transformation that you need right now. But that can only happen if you create enough space for you to even get your thoughts in order and get that perspective. And funnily, it's a word now. The Queen of Swords reversed is telling me that you don't need to be an open book. You don't need to be an open book with whatever situation you're trying to separate yourself from, or move on from, or free yourself from, or you don't need to you don't need to confront someone. Like, if confrontation is the thing that you're afraid of, it doesn't have to be that way. You can kind of just find other things to do, and pretending that it's a person. If they call, then actually that probably would be a bad idea. But what is this Queen of Swords saying? Oh, it's inviting you to. I look to the Four of Cups that is here as an answer to the Queen of Swords here. It's basically saying you can have me time, and you don't necessarily owe explanations as to why. Just say I need it. Could be a way to go about that situation. It's difficult for me to go into hypotheticals without making it sound like I'm trying to invite you to cut ties with a toxic person. That's not what I'm going at, but every word that I say makes it sound like I'm going in that direction, and I'm really not. So, what parting words can I leave you with, Group 3? I would say, you know, things things that are useful up to a point aren't always useful and in service forever, and it's okay to take the chains off from around your neck and step away, and it's totally justified, and you don't owe anyone any explanations. And I think that the transformation that is in store on the other side of that is worth any discomfort in the present moment. And again, it feels like the end of the world, but it's not. The sun is rising in the background here. So, on that note, this was pretty intense. I will invite you. First of all, I have an announcement at the beginning of the Oracle card portion coming up in a couple moments. You can use the timestamps if you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, and I'll see you there. All right, while I'm setting up the Oracle cards, here's the announcement that I teased for all three groups. This is the last mid-month video that I will be doing for the foreseeable future, and the explanation is really simple. I want to start making evergreen content, and all these videos and things. Like every video that I put out, with like maybe one exception, have a very explicit expiration date. So if I want to make this channel grow, it's important for me to start making evergreen content, and a candidate for videos to stop doing in order to free up the mental and time, the mental energy and time to actually do evergreen stuff is the mid-month. I think weekly and monthly is more than sufficient. I shudder at the thought that there was a time, for those of you who've been here since the beginning, there was a time where I was doing midweek updates. And I was like spending all of my time recording videos. And just to give you an idea, I'm recording this on November 27th, Sunday, November 27th. And this, by cutting off one video, it'll give me the room to create enough of a lead or enough of a comfortable buffer where I can focus on something, that'll be useful 10 years from now. Yeah, actually, I'll make this one last point. I get this feeling often with YouTube. Whenever I discover an astrologer that I like, every now and then, I'll discover an astrologer that I like, I'll check a couple of their videos, and I'll subscribe to their channel. And then for the next little while, my homepage will be published, will have, a video from that astrologer, and it's like, May 2016 forecast. And I roll my eyes and tell myself, like, why the fuck do I need this, So, yeah. I think I've belabored this point enough. Let's go right into the Oracle cards. So, Group A, your card is Sweetness. This can sound like a conflicting message depending on the reading that I gave you. Actually, all three readings were pretty intense, I'm not gonna lie. But I think that the key to navigating these next couple weeks to close out the year is to really focus on not taking things too seriously, and always remember that, love is important, and to just be kind with yourself and with others. Group B, your card is The Answers You Need Are Coming, Full Moon in Gemini. So I think this is an invitation to just trust the process. I think that actually for all three of you, there may or may not have been like questions that you've been asking yourself for a while, and to just be gentle with yourself in seeking out the answers, and just trust that you're on the path to get the answers that you need. Group C, your card is Poised. I've been pulling this card a lot. I'm a very thorough shuffler. I think that The message in this card, given the readings that I gave, and especially given the fact that these are the last 2 weeks of the year that we have ahead of us, December for many people are, is kind of a half month. So to use this time to really set yourself up for the next thing. It's okay to not make rapid developments in the things and to just be mindful of that for these next couple weeks. And finally, Group D, your card is Approach. This is I Ching hexagram number 19. And the keywords are advancing, a warm reception, prosperous conditions, increased influence, hopefulness, lightening up, an arrival. We're at the finish line. And I think that it's, if there was one thing that you need to steadfastly protect, Group D, it's your sense of optimism. I think that sometimes when we've been doing something for a while, we can lose track of our sense of optimism, and to just and it's very similar vibes to Group B, but with not necessarily as intellectual. This is really a reminder that it might not always look like you're making progress, but you are, and to just lighten up. I'm reading one of the keywords here, and just trust that things will work out. Yeah. So that is what I have for you today. If your reading resonated with you, please give this video a like. I am curious to know, whatever your questions, comments, or observations are, you can leave those in the comments below. Thank you very much for being here. I will see you very soon.